Hey, it's Molly. Welcome back to my channel as we're going to take a look at the Leo new moon happening on July 28th, 2022, 1:54 p.m. That's Eastern time. So be sure and adjust for your location on the planet. So the annual Leo new moon is when we have the sun in its home sign of Leo conjunct the moon in Leo. And here they're meeting up at 5 degrees, 38 minutes of Leo. So we round up to about 6 degrees in your chart. And this is where you want to find the point where you have 5 and 6 degrees of Leo, as the sun and the moon are supporting you in your new intentions in this part of your life. This is where the universe is bringing your attention to where you're ready to be more confident, courageous, stand in the power of who you are, and understand more of what you're ready to create next, where you're ready to basically step into more of your own light and allow that to be a powerful guiding force for what you begin at this time. So the sun in its home sign of Leo is at its strongest, and the moon here brings in that support, determination, and willpower. So there is a strong increase here in individuation and what is true for you, what is best for you, and truly allowing that to be an energy that connects to your solar plexus, lights you up, and guides you to perhaps take a risk. Leo is the energy of where we put ourselves out there to be seen. We take a risk to share our energy, our light, who we are, and to feel good about that. So there's energy here that really supports getting more into who you are, especially as we have the sun and the moon both making a beautiful trine to Jupiter at 8 degrees of Aries, 43 minutes, stationing retrograde. So here we have Jupiter that has made it all the way to nearly 9 degrees of Aries and is preparing to station retrograde, where it will actually re-enter Pisces, going back to 28 degrees of Pisces, and then returning to Aries the end of December of this year. But at this time, Jupiter hanging out here is basically standing still and sending its amplification energy to the sun and the moon. So this has a very positive boost of energy, encouragement, really asking you to tune into what do you want, what is true for you, what is best for you, perhaps what do only you know about yourself at this time, that you're ready to move the energy into something that you can create powerfully, or even do something different. Look at what you're ready to change and evolve, and also establish a sense of strength around it. Now, this Jupiter energy brings in opportunities, resources, invitations. There is support here with Jupiter working with both the sun and the moon. And these 2 points in your chart, where not only you have the sun and the moon conjunct in Leo at 5-6 degrees, but also where you have this Jupiter at 8, nearly 9 degrees of Aries. These 2 parts of your chart are talking to you. And they're helping you understand more of who you are right now, where you're in alignment with yourself. So you could identify where you have this stationary Jupiter in Aries. In this chart, it's the 5th house, and then connecting with the 9th house here. So then you could connect the 2 houses and look at where you have energetic support, momentum, where there is something here that you're actually meant to really integrate. And the way I'm saying that is basically because of how this Jupiter is standing still, just hanging out, not moving, but applying a very encouraging and beneficial energy to the sun and the moon sense of self. So I feel like this is a strong integration of who you are, what you want. And there's also the strong fire sign energy of momentum, inspiration, growth, desire, action. And you could be feeling like you're wanting to move something ahead. Now, because Jupiter is stationing retrograde, though, you could find yourself sitting in that pause and really checking in with your energy first. And that's what I would recommend, because of Jupiter in Aries is about that first sense of self. There's something here where you're meant to really get clear on, what do I want? And once you have that understanding, then that will really support what you're ready to do next through that Leo sense of self and self-expression. And so Jupiter in Aries initiates and begins, and then the Leo energy will stabilize it, fixate it, make sure that it can burn. And I think of Leo as a bonfire, where the energy is designed to be in a fixed place, but it's also designed to burn brightly and for the flames to go higher and higher. And I'm feeling like there's something that's been rising within us that we're ready to fully own, embrace, understand. And this is a new moon that could bring you clarity on that. And just to note, if you have any planets or points between 5 and 9 degrees of Sagittarius, 5 to 9 of Sag, then you would have a grand trine going on in your chart. And that would bring in a lot of energy, momentum, movement, inspiration. So I just wanted to call that out as well. So all of this is very uplifting, beneficial energy, and it's helping you understand more of who you are now. Now, that being said, we have tension in this chart with this Mercury. Mercury at 18 degrees of Leo is exactly squaring Uranus, North Node, and then we have this Mars in Taurus approaching exact conjunction. Mars will be conjunct this point August 1st and 2nd, so there's energy building here. And yet the square to Mercury is surprises, shocks, unexpected news, something coming through, something happening that you didn't have information or details on, something that perhaps even requires you to reconsider or understand what you're going to choose next. Now, that Mercury in Leo is a strong creative mind, and it wants to be in a place of self-expression as well. This is where you can say what you really think, put yourself out there. This Mercury likes to be seen, and this is also a Mercury that wants things to happen in a reliable manner, but this is not reliable energy at all, and we've been talking about this conjunction for a while now, at least here on my channel. So I feel like this Mercury is getting a shock from the universe. There's something coming in that actually could help. I'm seeing it as that electrical shock or a lightning strike, where it's like, oh, clarity, understanding, new ideas, new inspiration. What I'm noticing here too is how Mercury is the personal planet, but the higher octave of Mercury is Uranus. And Uranus is cosmic intelligence, whereas Mercury is human intelligence, but they have an affinity. They have a connection. So here you have a message coming in from another part of your own energy field that's taking you forward in a new direction that maybe you didn't see coming. A last minute change of plans, new announcements that catch you off guard. I mean, this doesn't have to be negative or bad. It depends on how you roll with these kinds of energies. But this energy is stronger. The Taurus energy is quite strong. Even though we have, yes, 3 planets here in Leo, these 3 planets are making that square to Mercury, and that's the energy of, oh wow, I didn't realize that would happen, or even I didn't think of that before. I didn't understand it in that way. So again, this can be encouraging. This could be something coming through that you didn't see, but there could also be a shock factor as well. And then we're also seeing this Mercury, as he moves forward, begin to make more of an exact opposition to Saturn at 23 of Aquarius retrograde. And that energy will show up here in the next few days after the new moon, which is a standstill or a stop. And that will actually happen at 22 degrees of Aquarius, 22 degrees of Leo. So there's something about information coming forward, announcements, developments, plans, projects, ideas that are ultimately meant to break us out of where we've been almost in this like locked perspective or a limited approach, a limited understanding, because these are the outer planets and the North Node taking you somewhere new and different, helping guide you to new understandings, new information that, again, maybe you're like, I never thought that would happen. And then the opposition to Saturn brings in a pause. Well, let me think about this. I need time to process this information. I need time to sit with this news. So something after this new moon could really stir up more about what you thought was possible or what you were relying on. And the universe is asking you to go higher. Now, this Uranus conjunct the North Node with this Mars can be very agitated, annoyed, disruptive, rebellious. It can be that energy of no one's going to tell me what to do and I'm going to do it my own way. And so that is something to be aware of because this energy is building the end of July into early August. And there's a sense here of these breakups, like the energetic breakups and collapses and energetic things, falling apart because they're actually not in alignment with what you're truly meant to own in yourself. These Taurus energies are teaching us that we have this beautiful value that we haven't truly tapped into. And this is a time of awakening to more of your worth, more of your personal value, more of what you love and want, and to follow it. There's so much energy here at 18 degrees of Taurus that you're meant to follow whatever is opening up that could even be radically different than what you first considered or what you have been thinking about or processing. I feel too like this conjunction is meant to activate us at a deeper core level where you could start to step into more of yourself than ever before. But by doing so, there's then things you're stepping away from. And that's where we're also shaking the apple cart here. We're shaking things off of the apple cart. The bad apples are falling away. Things that aren't meant to travel forward are meant to leave. And so this is where there's strong energy taking us forward. And there's something very powerful about these openings that we're meant to stay open to, even if we don't get it or we don't see the details just yet. And I do feel too, like part of this opening is very cosmic in that we're receiving new downloads of what we can create and experience in our lives that maybe we just never saw before, or we didn't consider it, or we didn't even know we were capable of it. And these 3 planets in Taurus are ruled by Venus, and she's over here in loving, kind Cancer. And this is an energy that's much more internal, that is much more personal. And it feels like this Venus, as she comes home into herself and listens to herself, she's really wanting some quiet to hear the messages, to hear what it is she really needs and wants that maybe she didn't think she was open to. So she could be working out some things here around how she feels worthy of receiving. And I also feel because this Venus is a soft energy, it's a very soft, loving, kind energy. It does support, or I should say balance out, this very strong Leo energy that's going to dominate. And so this is the feminine energy where you want to retract, go into your own space and just settle into it. Let me feel into it. Let me go into this and just see what's coming up and trust it. And, this is also feminine energy. Taurus is feminine energy, and she's approaching when she gets to 18 degrees, you know, she'll be sextiling this point as well. It's almost like your heart has to feel it. There's something that our heart needs to feel, where it's not just what we want or where we're ready to move it forward. I mean, there is a dominant masculine energy here, but it has to connect to your heart too. It has to connect to the heart. And I'm just feeling that more strongly as I look at this energy, because Leo is the heart, but it's more of a masculine heart, and Cancer is a feminine heart. And it's like, that's a beautiful yin-yang energy here, when those two parts of ourselves are in alignment, when there's a synergy. But it could be that the masculine energy is taking over. I want this, I'm going to go for this, nobody can tell me no. And you have this support from Jupiter and Aries that brings in more of that desire to want something new. But I feel like there's something quiet or whispering to us that we're meant to just pause and catch ourselves, listen in, and see what that feels like for you. Really tap into what that is. Because chances are you're going to feel it if it's off. If something feels off, or if it doesn't feel like it's enough. Yeah, there's something here about when you're leveling up and changing the energies and changing things in your life, there's things we want more of. And then there's things we let go of that we don't need anymore. And there's something about raising the bar for yourself, elevating your own requirements from the universe about what you really need and what you know you're worthy of, that could look very different than what you first thought or experienced or had any preconceived notions about. There's something here where it is leveling up, and that of course means new parts of yourself are birthing, new parts of yourself are coming out, and that could be very exciting. I mean, this is the very fiery, entertaining Leo energy where you put things out there. It's very visible. But I feel like if there isn't a heart connection, there could be a void, or there could be something that you're wanting time to just be more aware of. Because we've done so much work that we're meant to travel with all of our masculine and all of our feminine energies, whatever that means for you. But to not surrender the heart, or to not give up something that it's like, don't give up something just because you haven't had it before, or just because it's wildly different. I mean, there's something about this energy that is meant to shake us up, to see what we haven't experienced, so that we can then make decisions and make room in our lives for that next step, new level, upgrade, whatever it might be for you. And getting back to Mercury, that has a lot of energy. Mercury is also making a trine to Chiron, which has also stationed retrograde here in July, and is at 16 degrees of Aries. So this means the Aries parts of your chart are both experiencing retrogrades, with Jupiter and Chiron in retrograde. And so we're really looking at who we are now at a deeper level, and making sure that we're not just doing something we've always done, or taking the easy route, or assuming that this is what I want because it's what my ego desires. I feel like we're so much wiser than that, and we've done a lot around the root chakra healing, which is Aries, and it is the fight or flight. It's the parts of ourselves that just want to go for it, get something moving. You can be very impatient around this energy as well. And now it's moving to be more internalized. There's an internalization process happening, where we're just becoming more aware of what we want next, what we can create next, but to take the necessary steps instead of just taking foolish steps, if you will, because some of this can be like you see, oh, wow, I just reverted back to an old pattern, or I just did something I've always done. It's not even what I want anymore. So all of this can be raising your consciousness about who you are and helping you understand, you know, that what you're choosing right now is really powerful, and to own it. So really own the next level dreams, the next level ambitions, the next places that are calling to you or that you want to go. Because I feel like, you know, this Leo energy wants us to travel with a strong sense of pride in ourselves, to feel good about who you are and how you show up, to be okay with what you're receiving energetically or otherwise. So this is a strengthening new moon, but it's also helping us be much more conscious of what we're creating and to be very aware of these next level steps that the universe is moving us towards. Now, we have in 2 weeks the Aquarius full moon, which is very dynamic as both the sun and the moon are going to square this energy of Uranus and the North Node and even Mars. So we're working with this energy into August. And this is really a time to tap into the strength of your heart, your desires. There's also a love energy here with Leo and with the Taurus energy and even Venus in Cancer. A love energy of what it means to love who you are now and how that establishes a new vibration in yourself, which then goes into your aura and your energetic frequency and what you experience. So that could be also part of this leveling up as well. Overall, a very encouraging Leo new moon to help us move something forward, to strengthen our own courage and confidence in ourselves, to look at what you're ready to create and develop next. You know, what is getting you excited about life? What is raising your energy about your time here? What is lifting you up? There's momentum. There's something that maybe you're even feeling is very powerful, and you're ready to go for it or try it or do something different, do something new. And maybe that's even the shock value, if you will. So this is a very, I'm going to call it a very energetically charged new moon that is helping us move forward and look at something from a very self-empowering perspective. And the other thing I wanted to note here before closing out this video is that now we have more planets traveling on this side of the zodiac after they have passed over the North Node, and they're opening up more energies on this side of the zodiac. So that will continue as we move through the next number of months. But it means too that we're going to start to have more oppositions to these outer planets and to the bigger energies we've been dealing with in 2022. So there could be even a sense of balance coming in, where for all of us, we've had all this energy between late Capricorn to late Taurus in our charts, where all the planets were here for a very long time. Now the energies are moving forward. As the planets are moving forward, they're opening up more in the chart and they're balancing out. So now there's other areas of your life that you're bringing your attention to that could help you see where you've been out of balance, where you're ready for, investing your energy or putting things into other places in your life that maybe you felt neglected or that you neglected. And they're going to open up and show you more of what you're ready to create and move towards in other parts of your life now. So here we have this Leo new moon. May it be one that inspires you, motivates you, also strengthens you. And I hope it also brings you some beautiful wisdom about your own creation abilities and specifically what that means to you now, as you are a very powerful creator here on the planet, a creator of energy, a creator of intentions, a creator of consciousness, a creator of everything in your life. So this is a beautiful time to really honor that in yourself. I will be back here soon with another video for you. As always, thank you for sharing, subscribing, commenting, and liking. Please feel free to share this video with others who may benefit from it. And I look forward to connecting with you again here soon.